Okay, we're on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. So, welcome everybody. We are back again with Miss Kaliana Raphael Rose. We tried to make this work last week, and it just didn't work. So we just released it in divine flow and reset for this week. And so, hopefully, the energies are more streamlined, and more of us will be able to come on live and ask some questions of Kaliana. So, our topic for tonight is opening our heart connection to the angelic presence within with Kaliana Raphael Rose. And I want to share with you guys a little bit about Kaliana. Just she is this amazing teacher, angel on earth, divine mother channel, priestess woman. She's got an entire collection of energetic codes of the Christed masculine, the Christed feminine. She has an entire, it's not called a collection. What is it called, Kaliana?
It's a
The
series, I
line
suppose you'd
of
say.
your, I'm talking about your flower essences or your essences.
So
Line,
there's,
entire
yeah.
line, right? Of these amazing flower essence and energy code essences. And so I've been on retreats with Kaliana and with the Divine University, and one of our favorite things in the retreat is to sort of gift each other with gifts at the end of the retreat. And one of the favorite giftings is to purchase some of these amazing essences and gift them to each other. So it's always a treat when you receive one of those special essences from the gift pile. So let's see here. Let's talk about Kaliana for a second. So Kaliana has traveled the world as a divine mother, angelic, and Christ plane emissary. She offers programs, workshops, private sessions. Her commission is with the family of light and the angels to create a loving, heartfelt portal where you are held and filled with the frequency of loving compassion so that you can remember your own divinity, your own precious divine gifts that you bring to earth. Kaliana brings forth sacred dispensations of divine union, blessings to open you to the inner light of your sacred heart, supporting the ignition of your own inner union, your own divine masculine and feminine within. And this brings divine empowerment through the healing of relationships, both inner and outer. And I have had the honor and privilege to receive some amazing couples sessions from Kaliana and her husband, Rama, with my partners. And it's been amazing. So, welcome, Kaliana.
Thank you, Zara.
Yeah. So, tell us about the angelic presence within. What is it?
It's, for me, my work is the healing and separation between the angelic and the human. And if we look at now as a time of heaven on earth, which is why so much is coming up to the surface, because we have our beautiful Mother Earth ascending into the angelic human or Christ consciousness, and the Christ planes are meeting her. And so on the middle is all this light. It's like off the Richter scale of how much light we're getting on the planet right now. And that is for me to not just to see the angelics as something apart from us, but to know that we're being asked to reclaim that angelic human that we really are ascending to. And just for instance, we could say, well, you know, the angels, the classic pictures of them with wings and depicted, and I think there's a saying that angels travel light because they take themselves lightly, they travel well. And I think that it is a time to be joyous about what's happening. Yes, there's some crazy things happening on our planet at this time, but hey, there's nothing new.
Right.
They're just being seen now. We've been manipulated by fear for a long time on our planet, and now is the age of sovereignty, standing true and speaking your truth. And even, you know, rather than seeing angels as something outside of ourselves, you know, my challenge to you is to see it in the people you meet.
Yeah.
Because my granddaughter, for instance, when she was a couple of years old, when she was in the womb, she gave me her spiritual name and said that she was from the angels, but they wouldn't call her that. But she wanted me to know it. And then I never said anything. And when she was about 3 or 4 years old, in the backseat of our car, as we took her somewhere, this little voice said, "I'm not from here, you know. This isn't my true home.
She said that out loud?
Yeah. She said, I come from the angels, and I'm here to look after all the baby angels." And she tells me she has many, many angel husbands. and I just turned around, looked at her, and I said, "I know you are, and I'm so glad you're here." And I think that is some of the children being born are amazing, and they need our support because they're very, very sensitive. A lot of my essences are to help the children. I've got one called Nurturing Protection, which is to support no matter what these little ones are being bombarded with, that they know that what is constant is through their tree of life. They can connect to earth and spirit and be supported in their mission here, which is heaven on earth. And so to me, the angelics, I'm a RAPHAEL lineage. So it was Archangel Raphael that commissioned me to make all my flower essences initially. Ascended Master Melchizedek commissioned me to do all the DNA endocrine codes. My Andromedan Higher Self commissioned me to sing the songs of the chakras. And Azraella mentioned in one of the sessions with you and Azraella, that our higher selves are our angelic consciousness. And I can relate to that because to me, my Andromedan self, Archangel Raphael, like they're one and the same in that sense of, call it my lineages, and we all have them.
Archangel Raphael is part of your higher self, part of your
of that lineage in the angelics, in the angelic planes. And so that's not an ego thing. It's, you know, honoring your lineages. And now is the time to really own that if we allow it and we open our hearts fully, within us is a beautiful Christ child, is a beautiful angelic human wanting to birth here. And that requires our attention.
And our intention.
Yes, definitely our intention. Not always seeing things as outside of ourselves. And, you know, to me, the angelics, like in the Divine University, we work with the heart portal of the angels. You know, so many angels here to support us, and they sing. Whenever I sing, I open up and ask that the angels sing, use my voice and sing with me and through me, because they're songs of creation, celebration, and the angelic consciousness is very, very committed to serving the divine plan. All about service. The angels are all about service.
Yeah. That's one of the beautiful things that I love about the Divine University is the foundation of our oneness, with all things, and our oneness with our divinity, our oneness with the angelic realm, our oneness with the Christed realm, and our oneness with the earth and each other. And it's just a beautiful foundation to keep coming back to when we get distracted from all of the life experiences.
Yes, and you know, and we do that through our heart, but also through our tree of life. We have, you know, what is our birthright is to be loved by our presence. And often when I take people into their inner heart temples to merge with their divine presences and all their master guides, the master guides always say the same thing. We often love you more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
And that is the thing, isn't it, of self-love, like, because we are so hard on ourselves. Take me, I was born into a body of a double Virgo. No one has to criticize me because I'm always on my own case. And so, but I've got this body was born when the moon was full in Pisces, so I sort of go between the detail and the oneness, and you know, we're not bound by our astrology. Like there's even galactic astrology now, but it is interesting to know the body you're in, be it you've walked into it or you had a higher self walk in, or however you're here on mission, is to understand what this soul chose to incarnate into certain astrological signs to support them in their mission and also their learning.
Yes, the strengths and the learnings,
Yes. And I remember one of the first messages I received many years ago. I'll be 73 this year, and I was woken up big time in my 30s, and some of it was quite intense. So often people, this path, it can bring you to your knees, and it can take you to the heights, and because it's all about meeting parts of yourself that maybe you have denied. And part of that denial is parts that have emotional energy, old stories that are still held in aspects of ourself. And the healing angels are wonderful ones to call on, as well as your higher selves, to help you bring those parts home to your heart.
Yeah.
Because often they get really noisy if you don't.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to get your attention, to say,
Yeah.
hey, there's something you need to look at here.
Yeah. So part of the reason why we're coming on live to you guys and sharing all of these amazing teachers of the Divine University is because of the WESAC full moon event and the Angelic Wave event that's leading up to WESAC. And that is on, WESAC is on May 5th. The Angelic Wave event is from the 28th to the 5th. And then there's a Bridge of Light event. And so what Kaliana is sharing is about, all of these parts of within ourselves that are reflecting as mirrors in our outer world, our partners, our parents, our relationships, how the conflicts that we have with them, or the challenges that we're having, or the emotional triggers that we're having in that outside world. And from the foundation of our teachings is to look at it as a reflection of the unhealed parts within us to heal. And I will tell you that this WESAC event on May 5th, I don't know what is going on, but I am like daily, like purging stuff coming up for me, purging. Just like finding teenage stuff from my child, like my teenager self is coming up, and all of these parts that are wanting to be brought back into oneness, wanting to be loved again. And I feel my soul, I feel my spirit is like about to launch onto a whole new platform of beingness. And so right now, before this full moon that's coming up in a couple weeks, we're in this eclipse time. There is just so much purging that's going on in my being personally. I don't know if that's being held by the collective or what, but I can feel this WESAC full moon in its approach. Absolutely. Yeah.
Part of that can also be, Zara, that as soon as you say yes to something, it all starts, it's almost like you've joined already, and it all starts coming up what needs to be addressed in order for you to open up to the blessing of the WESAC. And last year, the WESAC was all held here at our home here in just above Byron Bay. And it's slightly different this year. Last year I was a teacher honored to be a teacher with Amaya and Lalama. And we co-facilitated between us 15 Wave of Light meditations. We co-facilitated 3 days of a Bridge of Life, and then Amaya facilitated the WESAC ceremony. And this year is slightly shorter. It's exciting that it's in Mexico. I was unable to go, and Koala has stepped in, so that's exciting for anyone who participates in the Bridge of Life, because Koala was the founder of the Divine University, but also for many, many years gave service as a WESAC teacher, doing the WESAC ceremonies, doing everything. And then she backed off and handed over to some of the other teachers. So it's a great honor and gift for anyone who joins the Bridge of Life to receive Koala. She has an amazing connection to Source, her own presence, the Masters and Angels, and I'm sure it will be an amazing event. Amaya conducts a beautiful WESAC ceremony. It was beautiful to be live with it here in our house last year. And just to see how she has evolved in holding that ceremony is really beautiful. And it's interesting that last year we had just the 3 of us, and we needed to be present for every one of the 15 wave, and it was all about grace last year. And it graced my life so much, because at that time my former husband had just passed away during that time and over that time, and I was held in such grace over that time, and I know that he was as well in his passing. And so this year it's about the angelics, and so much because it is about heaven on earth. Part of my mission is to heal the separation, and so that's brought up a lot for me around what I saw as separate. It was fascinating listening to Azraella's interview with you, and you talked about coming from corporate into your spiritual path. I didn't come from corporate. I did work in offices, different things, but I came into it as a mother with the child with acquired brain injuries, with prem babies. And so I literally was opened up every time I thought I'd do a university course, and I was brought back and I was trained on the inner planes with the angels, basically with Archangel Raphael and the brotherhoods and sisterhoods of the rose. That's why my name is Raphael Rose. And Kaliana means held by the great mothers, Kali and Ana. And so that I feel really held in my work as a Divine Mother Emissary. And we all have, my work it's like when I sing the body, to me it's like everyone has a unique puzzle piece and they don't often know it. Often when I've been at conferences or speaking, people will come up and say, I wish I was doing what you were doing, like when I've been on a public forum. Yeah. And I said, it's not as romantic or as glamorous as you think it is. You have to do the hard yards to stay centered, to look at where your ego is acting out or not, or where your patterns are acting out or they're not.
Yeah.
And, and so I would ask them, so tell me about you. And they'd tell me, and I go, and you don't believe for 1 minute that you're not doing your soul purpose. But often what happens, and I want to say that to anyone who listens to this, is that often our soul purpose comes so naturally to us that we don't think that anyone else couldn't do it, and we don't see it as unique. And it is unique. That's not as an ego thing. It's just you have a unique puzzle piece of heaven on earth. That's why you're here in these times, because it is the time where heaven is coming to earth and the earth is ascending. Heaven is descending, if you want to put that way, from the cosmic universes. And our beloved Mother Earth is no longer willing to be the place where we learn and evolve through destruction. And she said no to that. And so it's all coming to the surface. Yeah. And we need to bring all parts of ourselves home that we've left here. Parts that have acted out. We've been the good, we've been the bad. We've been the ascended angel, the fallen angelic in the free will experiment. We've been everything. But basically, there is no judgment of any lifetime we've had from spirit. It's only supporting us. What did you learn from that? How did you evolve through that experience, through acting out that part of the story? So I'd love to say to anyone who's listening, please, and I say it to myself all the time, be kinder to yourselves. Open your heart to any parts of yourself that may be holding trauma from other times or thought forms, because those parts learned something. It was created by your soul so you could learn and evolve in some way. And when you can own that, call those parts home, send them all your love, ask what the learning was from your own Holy Spirit, then they can ascend into your ascended consciousness, and you are no longer acting out or living that past story of separation or whatever your story is.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And if you are new to that kind of work, because it's not easy to do it on your own, especially if you don't have the tools or you don't have a guide. It is really great to work with somebody like myself or like Kaliana or any of the teachers within the Divine University. I believe most of them, not all of them, but most of them are doing one-on-one with people to assist in the development of bringing the parts home. And we've got two things going on. One is called the Universal Healing Program. And I believe you still have a few days to sign up for the next 12 weeks of free Universal Healing, which is starting May 4th or 5th. So you can sign up still for that. You go on thedivineuniversity.com. So the free Universal Healing is 12 weeks long. That is something that can support you in this process of healing and bringing those parts of the self home. And that's a free service. We're also developing within the Divine University what are called happy heart journeys and happy soul journeys and happy spirit journeys. And these are working one-on-one with people to really go into those different parts, as well as teaching you how to work with your parts. And that's not available yet, but that will be coming out soon. So it's a great thing to sort of get involved and become a member of the Divine University so that you can receive the updates of what's coming out, as well as the WESAC event that's happening soon. Yeah. So
So the
opening
universal healing, I'm on one of the teams to offer that with all the beautiful beings overlighting that, and all the work that has gone into that from the teams in the Divine University who've been coordinating that is amazing. Hours and hours and hours of service, and to be in those transmissions is very profound because it's goes through the whole body, and whoever joins up and puts their intention into that will receive support for whatever they've asked to heal. And I just wanted to say one thing about offering sessions. To me, it's always been about empowerment.
Yeah.
For me, I see nobody heals anyone. And if someone says, oh, I gave a session and I healed this person, I cringe. Nobody. If someone heals, it's because they've given permission. They've worked with whatever it is, and they allow the healing to happen, and they will allow someone to facilitate that and hold them while they self-heal. And it's really important. We all have the ability to self-heal, but in order to do that, our hearts need to be open. Because if our heart isn't open, a message I received a long time ago was this image of all this energy flowing through a heart to all these people. And the message said, accept love in order to give love, and therein lies true healing.
That's so beautiful. I'm just feeling into that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we can't accept love, I've made an essence, it's called the Bao Mai, and I was commissioned to make it. It's all about that, connecting the womb and the heart, those two heart centers. Because if our heart's closed, we can't self-heal.
Right.
And sometimes when our heart opens and we ask for healing, we pray for healing, you can ask for your own presence, your guides, the angels for healing. It will come to you, maybe not in the form you think. It might be that someone comes into your life and they trigger you. They're just showing you something that's unconscious that you need to heal. And so that's the law of reflection, obviously. And but there's also the law of love and compassion for ourselves, for these wounded parts of ourselves that have possibly shut down and don't believe they're worthy of love.
Yeah. Yeah. And the law of grace.
And the law of grace.
Divine assistance. Yeah.
And forgiveness, all the beautiful universal laws.
And the universal forgiveness. Yeah.
And mentors and the Happy Heart sessions work with all those laws. The Higher Life sessions work with all those laws. And, again, I just want to say that there's no judgment. And if we would stop judging ourselves and open up to loving every part of ourselves, no matter what we've acted out, no matter if we think we've failed, we never fail. It's just something that we need to learn. And then we pick ourselves up and we look again.
Try it again.
Try it again. Off, like riding the bicycle, up again. Try again.
Try it again. Yep. Yeah. So opening our heart connection to the angelic presence within, how would one go about doing such a thing?
Well, if there's time on this interview, I'd love to offer just a very simple process that I do before all my sessions, just to take us to the inner heart temple, and that's working with the solar angels. And the solar angels, there's 7 of them that I work with, and they hold the 7 sacred directions. They work with a golden pyramid above and below that comes together to form the 6-pointed star of wholeness. And that holds, call it the Hieros Gamos, the sacred union within. And in the angelic wave, I'm one of the presenters for that, and I'll be working with the throat and thymus chakras, giving grace for love for relationships. And I work with my husband all the time in sacred union, and we have a 35-year twin flame relationship, and we've been through everything you could imagine, to keep loving, to keep looking at what we're mirroring for each other. And the high heart chakra is the seat of the twin flame. The heart is the inner temple, which holds the flame of our presence. And in what I'd like to offer as a meditation is to sing in the solar angels. And this song I was given in the language of light from the whales. And you could say the angels appear in many forms, and one of them is whales, the angels of the sea. And they sing the earth with their songs, and it's amazing to swim with them and be blasted by their amazing energy, the angels of the sea. So they gave me this song that I'll sing to you, and it's called This Is My Heart, I'm Home. So it's not singing home somewhere outside of yourself, but home within. And so what I want to offer is allowing the 6 solar angels to hold those directions, and the seventh one to touch your heart.
I love it.
Just to allow you. Yeah. Will we do that?
And then let's do that now, and then we'll leave the rest of the session open, or the rest of this session open for any questions or comments at the end. And yeah, let's do it now, Kaliana. It sounds good.
Okay.
Ready.
So just closing your eyes and taking a deep breath and really bring yourself present. You may want to put your hand on your heart, or both hands, and just take a breath. 3 deep breaths. And as you do, I'd like you to ask your higher self, your presence, to activate around you a sphere of light. And every soul that incarnates, they dance in on cosmic rays of energy. They sit with the radiant ones, supporting them to choose a lifetime that will support them, the parents, the place they're born. All this is supported by the radiant ones. All the guides working with you and your presence and higher self. So every being that incarnates dances in on cosmic rays. So I want you each to ask now your own Holy Spirit, higher selves, to gift you now an awareness of your soul colors. These colors particularly, be it that you have walked into this body for another mission, or that you're in the same soul energy as this incarnation, you will still have soul colors. And these are your support team. They're supporting you with these cosmic rays to support your evolution, your learning, and the sharing of your own unique gifts. You may be hearing of a color, seeing or feeling one or more. But when you do, I want you to breathe them in. Feel them dancing and vibrating through that egg of light around you, that sphere. And with a deep breath, breathe them in to your heart, the base of your heart, where they become a beautiful liquid pool of energy, the waters of your soul. And we invite you to rest there, feeling the waters cleansing you, at the same time nourishing and nurturing you. And just feel these beautiful color or colors entering your physical body through your cells, entering the feminine pillar to the left of your body, the masculine pillar to the right, the central pillar, supporting your physical, mental, and emotional bodies. And breathe them in. And then you'll find yourself looking at a golden dolphin swimming towards you. And this golden dolphin represents that inner Christ, that inner innocent child, the joyous Christ child. And this one asks you to merge with it and become it. So just feel what it feels like to feel yourself as that joyous golden dolphin, moving your spine, and feel how at home this part of you is in the waters of your soul. And as you do, as the dolphin, you dive into the waters of your soul, deep, deep, deep into those waters. Totally at home and knowing where to go. You break the surface into a beautiful crystalline grotto, sparkling with the crystalline energy of your soul colors. And you breathe that in. Swimming to the edge. Invite that golden dolphin energy, that part of yourself, to stay moving through your spine and field of energy. And you'll see, as you step out of the waters, taking your own form, there's a beautiful bridge. And that bridge is pulsing also with your soul colors, and you're given a cloak. And the cloak is pulsating with your soul colors. And you ascend up that bridgeway of light, 7 steps taking you up to an archway of light that you stand underneath. And on that archway of light, As you stand underneath it in your cloak, you'll notice that there's a disc beneath your feet, and the archway has beautiful codes on it. And these codes represent your whole nature. And we ask you to say with us, with the full power of my own divine presence, Holy Spirit, I activate my eternal crystalline tree of life. And feel the trunk expanding around you, going from the base of your body to the top of your head. Within it, a beautiful crystal core of light holding your chakras. And as you take a deep breath, ask that the branches and leaves of your tree of life go out through that archway to a beautiful soul star above your head. And there you connect to the angelics, the Christ planes, the cosmos, the field of all possibilities, the suns, the moons. And you breathe that energy down and give it permission to flow down through that archway to activate those codes of light. And as they begin to vibrate, they appear on your cloak. They dance through the trunk of your tree of life. And they dance on that disc beneath your feet. And we ask that you open your feet chakras. Allah, Amen. Allah, Amen. Allah, Amen. I say. A golden ball of energy underneath your feet opens your feet chakras, and you descend on that disc with your beautiful symbols activated and alive. And as you begin to sink down, we honor the inner earth people. We ask you to honor the guardians of the site where you sit. And you go deeper and deeper to the very heart of Mother Earth, where that disc rests. And we ask that you feel the roots of your tree of life extending to the 4 sacred directions, grounding. And feel how Mother Earth receives your codes of wholeness, your light, and welcomes you, your unique gifts. And just feel Mother Earth's love, violet sun energy pouring up through the trunk of your tree of life and up to the golden sun energy above your crown. Beautiful figure 8 flow now going from your soul star through your heart to the earth star beneath your feet. This is called the holy breath. And say with me, grounded, connected, therefore protected, I walk in my light. And that figure 8 flow centered in your heart as you draw from earth and spirit sends out many figure 8 petals to fill that sphere of light around you, activating your own inner flower of life. We ask that you breathe that breath just naturally now and walk into that temple where you're surrounded by your 12 master guides, those that work with you in this incarnation. They form a circle around you and send you their heart flames and ask you to open your heart to them, for they see you as you are. They respect you and they love you. Some of them may be angels, some of them may be ascended parts of yourself, ascended masters, either in a female or masculine form, but just open your heart to them. And let yourself be loved as they love you. For you are worthy of this, they say. And then you take a breath. They form an arc behind you as you walk into the center, where there's an inner sanctum and it's pulsating with a pink, gold, and blue flame. And it opens as you walk towards it. And you go into your own inner heart temple. And this is a place unique to you, a place of beauty in every lesson you've learned either in this or other lifetimes. Every initiation you've passed through, the wisdom is here. So breathe in this beauty of this place. And as this beautiful threefold flame temple opens up, you walk inside and sit on the golden chair in your cloak of soul colors, giving permission for those codes of wholeness to enter every cell. And just ask for your divine presence to merge with you. To ask for the love that is your birthright. These flames represent the love, the light, the power, and the wisdom when these three flames are working together. Breathe them in. And breathe them into every part of your being, into that egg of light around you. As you breathe in the love that's your birthright, nothing you need to do to earn it. Just ask. Open your heart to receive it. And as you do, we call in the solar angels now to form around you two golden pyramids above and below. Feel them. They're anchoring the 6 points around you. 6 solar angels who emanate from beyond the great, great central sun, and they're blessing you. And feel that golden pyramid above and below coming together as a beautiful 6-pointed star. And as you breathe those golden pyramid energy in, you sit on that golden chair. We call in the 7th solar angel with your permission to gently touch your heart chakra, to activate the angelic human within this Christ child that is birthing. Eda Anna, Isht Anna et Anna. This is the song of the heart chakra in the mantras I've been given. Very simple, and I'd love you to sing it with me. It's A-E-O, and it sings the truth back to your heart chakra. So as you sing it, just feel all the petals of your heart chakra opening to the blessing that's coming from these solar angels. A-E-O, 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 A-E-O. And feel all the archangels, the solar angels, the earth angels, archangels Raphael, Michael, Uriel and Gabriel, Camuel, Jophiel and Zadkiel, holding also the 7 sacred directions on the earth, as the solar angels hold it in the cosmos. And just feel as you breathe the holy breath, grounded, connected, protected. And just begin to rock your body as if you were rocking this beautiful being appearing before you, which is the angelic human, the Christ child that you are evolving to, that the earth is evolving as Mother Earth ascends into Christ consciousness, into the angelic planes as the heaven on earth mission is grounding on earth. This is where we call in grace. We ask that this be a grace-filled meeting, the angelic and the human, and all the amazing potential. You may feel wings behind you, beautiful wings. You may feel many angels wrapping their wings around you in support. And just say yes to this. And say and give permission that this will evolve for you in divine timing, for your highest good. But just to open up your heart to say yes to all the support from the angels. This beautiful solar angel still touching your heart with the greatest love and respect. And allow yourself to be loved. I choose to allow myself to receive all the love and support that is there for me. To remember that I have my own unique connection to the angelics. And in my humanness, I welcome in the angels, the angelic planes, the Christ planes of love and compassion to move through my field so that I may take myself lightly and fly. When I dream, there's beautiful dream trails. As we sleep, we can dream. You can ask to dream on the angelic planes, to fly and feel the freedom of flight, and to bring that lightness when you wake in the mornings. To remember that there are many angels assigned to you to support you, to remember that you can merge the angelic and the human. And taking a deep breath, feel that beautiful tree of life with a crystal core within it, your roots deep in the earth, your branches and leaves connected to the heavens. And if you do this each morning, you can simply say, grounded, putting one hand down to the earth, one hand up to the heavens, connected. Bring those hands to your heart, send those energies out. Grounded, connected, protected. I walk in my light. And we give you just one little tip. When you walk with stretchy roots. Stay connected to the earth. To connect to the angels, you don't have to leave your body. That's the biggest teaching I could offer you. You can be a grounded angel. And there's many of them walking, many angelics already embodied. And you, if you open up your eyes, you might start to see them. And they'll be reflecting back that in you. So just take a deep breath and just really put your both hands to the earth. And say with me, grounded. Take a breath. Both hands up, connected. And then bring those two hands together over your heart. Grounded, connected, protected. I walk in my light. Heaven on earth. You might like to sign up for the Heaven on Earth mission because everyone is needed.
Everyone is needed on the Heaven and Earth mission. Yeah.
I signed up to that years ago. My work has been healing and separation, so a lot of my work has been identifying the wounds, what has separated us, those worlds, the angelic and the human. And then one day it was my birthday and I was walking with some friends and along the beach looking for the dolphins and just said, I just want to be on the Heaven on Earth mission, not always the wound work. And the message I got was there's just one more to heal, the wound of separation.
Oh, just one wound to heal?
Just one more to heal. And so that has taken me on quite a journey to look at
That's a whole lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah, what does separate us? And so I'm on that path. I'm not saying I'm totally have healed that, but I'm certainly working on it. There's a saying, I think it was on a beautiful book by Richard Bach called Illusions, The Tales of a Reluctant Messiah. And it's one of my favorite books. And it says, how do you know if a soul has completed their mission on earth in this lifetime. If they're still here, they haven't.
Great.
And so all of us embodied here are here for a reason. We're still evolving and learning because this is new on earth. We're all winging it, you could say. And the best thing we can do is just peel away the layers so we can remember who we are and be that here.
That book, excuse me, that book, Illusions by Richard Bach, came into my life when I was 15 or 16 years old. And it was an answer to a prayer. I was having a spiritual crisis at that time. And I was asking God for a sign. And it was about whether I should get confirmed as a Catholic or not for the rest of now in the church. Am I going to be Catholic for the rest of my life? And I didn't receive the sign on the day that I asked for the sign, but a few days later, that book came into my life, Illusions by Richard Bach, and changed my whole life right then and there, 15, 16 years old.
Yes, it was written in the 70s. Someone has just gifted it back to me. I haven't had a copy for ages. I gave it away, and just the other day, he gave me that book back again. It was so lovely to read it again.
It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, simple, beautiful book. Yeah, lighthearted and fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really brings in a different perspective on life than the Catholic religion does, for sure.
I was brought up Catholic, and I'm really glad that I was,
Me too.
because I started looking, where's the feminine? Where's the priestess? And I was lucky enough, I was asked to travel the world with a friend and sing Open the Sights of the feminine that had been closed down for 2,000 years. And we did it in 1994, and we circled the earth. And I was amazed at who helped us. And who helped us? We were sent all over the place, and we were sent to Korea, to Jeju-do, which is a matrilineal island. And who helped us was a Catholic priest. And I had to keep pinching myself, But he took us to the priest's house, and they were completing the building of a church. And they invited us for a meal there. And we went there, and up on the wall was a picture like this, and had the head of all the popes. But underneath it was an empty line. And one of the priests said to me, "So what do you think about women priests?" And I went up to the picture and I said, "Until there is a priestess equally honored beside the priest, you've got nothing to offer me." And I said, "Isn't it beautiful that underneath all the popes, there's a blank line for all the female popes that would have been there supporting them in Christ consciousness?" And it was so beautiful. And they received what I said. They were beautiful. Yeah, they received what I said. And it was really beautiful, and to be able to speak it. And so I went looking for the feminine. And where is she? We have Mother Mary as the Virgin. We have Mary Magdalene, who was named a prostitute. And where does that leave a sexual woman? Nowhere. And so it denied the truth of sacred union in Christ consciousness. And so I'm glad I was brought up Catholic, because it made me go looking. I looked at all different religions. I studied A Course in Miracles. And I was always like, where's the priestess? Where's the priestess? And I think a few years ago, one of the popes apologized for the Inquisition. And I thought to myself, well, it would be really good if they apologized to Mary Magdalene. And she is honored in the Church of St. Mary Magdalene in Paris, where I did one of my codes. Notre Dame was built in her honor. So I just saying this not against anything, but just that sometimes we go somewhere and it shows us what we're missing, and we go looking. So I'm really grateful, because I went looking. Where's the mother? Where's the feminine? Where's the sexual woman in Christ consciousness? And she's very present. Yeah. Magdalene is the hold of the Kundalini.
Yeah, amazing.
And I think she's there's a beautiful crystal that I've got called Angelic, and someone spoke about that. It was the crystal that Mother Mary used to support her to become an angel. So it's not out of sync bringing Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene into this conversation about the angels, because she's certainly an angelic.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. What a blessing. Thank you so much. That was so lovely, that meditation and that connection. And I feel bright. I feel filled with light. My cells feel filled with light.
You look at.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. So, let's talk about WESAC for a minute. The angelic wave of light leading up to WESAC is the 28th, starting on the 28th, so just a few days. And each day is a 45-minute meditation. And each meditation is working on, tell us what each meditation we're working on, without the details, but the theme. We're moving through the bodies.
Oh, there's all different themes. I don't have them in front of me. I only have the one that I've got.
Okay, what do you
which
got?
is an angelic blessing of love and grace for relationships is the one I'm doing, and working with throat and thymus. And each one of us will be working in Trinity. So whoever's presenting the transmission on that day will be supported by two other mentors, graduate mentors of the Divine University. So we always, with the Divine University, work in group consciousness. And I think for me, that's why I'm still involved with the Divine University, because it's healing in a way that separation of group soul. And so we work in Trinity, and there last year, like I said, there was 15 with just a male Alama and I presenting them. And this year there's 7, and some in English, some in Spanish, which is so exciting. Mm-hmm. And so each of those transmissions will be held in Trinity by 3 mentors, but only one of them will be transmitting on that day. And so you can look on the site. I think on the Divine University site, there's more of an explanation around what those transmissions will be. And I'm sorry I can't read them off to you.
I didn't bring it up in ahead of time. But yeah, so if thedivineuniversity.com, you guys, you can go on there and you can read all the different 7 days of it. You can read about the WESAC full moon and the Bridge of Light 2-day retreat, which is after the WESAC full moon. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
And the WESAC ceremony is a beautiful thing because it honors the year that has gone before. So you can clean the slate in a way and receive a blessing for the next year of your spiritual service. So it's a beautiful ceremony to support you. And the angelic wave is all supporting that. It's like a WESAC wave of energy. And so that 7 transmissions leading up to that will all support the WESAC ceremony. And then you can dance into the Bridge of Light, which is a 2-day retreat in a way in Mexico City. And Mexico so honors the mother. Like when I was in Mexico teaching, I was always amazed, even in car parks, they had altars to the Virgin of Guadalupe, and such an honoring of the mother energy, because she appeared there in a form that the Mexican people could relate to. And I believe Mother Mary appeared all over the place in many guises to bring in that divine feminine energy, which is so connected to the angels.
You know what we haven't talked about yet in all of these interviews is, what are spiritual contracts? Can you share, like, what is a spiritual contract, and what kind of spiritual contracts might we hold? Might we be releasing? Might we be receiving, you know?
So we, as mentors of the Divine University, often ask, what is our contract with the Divine University for the following year? For personally, it's every soul that incarnates has a mission, whether you believe you do or not. That might be a personal mission, which might be to come in and resolve past incarnations where you've left a part of you behind, and you need to bring that part home to your heart. It might be to resolve some karmic issues. And to me, karma is not a punishment. It's like to learn something and to give back maybe what you took. And so there used to be that old saying, you know, an eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth. I don't believe that in the Heaven on Earth mission. If someone comes into your world that you may have on this level done harm to, be it through your words or actions, if they come into your field again, you can just send them love and support. You don't have to be hurt again or hurt. It doesn't work like that anymore. And so contracts are what you contracted when you came in as a soul. So you may have come in this lifetime and forgotten who you were, which many of us do. We forget who we are, so we can act out what it is to be on the physical plane. Sometimes we separate and we're very grounded, but we can't connect to spirit, or very spirit, but can't connect to earth. And so your personal contract is what you are here as a soul to learn and evolve, and how you will go about that. And many people will come into your world to help you, either through triggering you or reflecting back to you something. your contract can also be that you have codes and gifts, and you may have agreed to incarnate here on earth at this amazing time of change to offer your support and ground your light to Mother Earth and offer you your gifts to her and to anyone who comes your way. So you may have a spiritual contract to work with certain people that you have gifts that will help them. That's another spiritual contract. You may be working with a group of people, and so you might have a spiritual contract to play a certain role in that group consciousness, if that makes sense. So in a way, there's your personal, and then there's your other contracts if you're involved in a group energy, which is the Divine University for us. And so that awareness of what your contracts are support you to consciously fulfill them in your life. And it's always amazing. They can change. You may have fulfilled some of them. And so if you did the WISAC ceremony last year, you may have received something. And this year may be something totally different because you've ticked that off the list with a big smile, thinking, oh, thank goodness that one's done. Next. And, you know, often, unfortunately, we, and I've known it to be true for me, sometimes when we fulfill something or we pass through an initiation, we often don't celebrate it. In ancient times, in temples, you would have been celebrated that you'd passed through that initiation. Often now we just go, oh, next, and we don't actually allow ourselves to be celebrated.
Yeah.
So if you go into your inner heart temple, like I took you in this meditation, you can ask to be celebrated for all the initiations you've actually passed through and achieved. Because even in our human life, as women, we pass through them. You know, the initiation of young girl into becoming a woman with bleeding, becoming a mother, a lover, all those are initiations. Men go through their own initiations. And so it's really good to maybe with the WISAC ceremony, you get to honor what you have passed through in the last year, what you have achieved. So you can say, and then you ask, well, what are my contracts for this next year, this next spiritual year that I'm still to achieve? And one of the big, as a speaker, I've often someone who said, I don't know what my mission is. And I just say to them, why don't you just honor that you have these amazing soul gifts? You are an amazing being and offer whatever gifts you have in service to Mother Earth. How can I serve you with the gifts I have? And even with listening to you and Azraella talking about your coming through the business worlds that you did, they would have taught you something that will then aid you in your spiritual mission. Nothing is wasted or wrong. You can bring all that you've trained in, all that you've learned and offer it in service to Mother Earth, because all of that builds on your resume that will help you share your unique gifts. And for me at 73, I'm giving a lot of free service because I want to also leave legacies. I've been handed amazing bodies of work and entrusted with them for the endocrine system to help us embody who we are here through our endocrine and chakra system. So I'm starting to teach them more as webinars because I believe all of us, when we leave the earth, I've been told many times this is my last lifetime. Well, that'll be interesting to see if I can complete what I'm here to complete and bring all parts of me home. But other than that, I want to leave legacies. We all are given gifts. And if we can gift them and actually own that they are unique gifts sometimes, each one of you has one. I know you do, Azraella, and all the service you do, Zara, in the Divine University, because Azraella does too, amazing amount of service. You're gifting it from your unique skills that are so needed.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I worked with so-called disabilities, and there's a sign saying, don't diss my ability. And I say that to all of you, don't diss your abilities. You know, whatever you have is unique, and it's very precious to Mother Earth at this time. And you wouldn't be here if she hadn't called you to be here.
I would also say into what Kaliana is sharing is that it doesn't have to look spiritual, the gifts that you're giving and your spiritual mission here. And also your spiritual contracts don't have to look spiritual. It may be that this year you are going to be supporting your mother during a transition in her life. As she moves from one location to another location, you're energetically and physically supporting her to do that. That could be part of one of your spiritual contracts, to give back in service to your mom or to your sisters or to any part of the family. It may be that this person is in your spiritual contract for the year.
And it's totally correct, because I know for me, I'm a grandmother, I'm in relationship, I have 4 children and 1 stepdaughter, 3 grandchildren, and my contracts are always to fulfill my contracts with them. And I sat with an Aboriginal elder at a gathering out of Alice Springs in Northern Territory, Australia, and I asked him, what is it in your lineage to be an elder? And he looked at me and he said, well, I'm still training, because he said a lot of my elders are passing. And he would have been in his 60s, amazing elder. But he still considered himself an elder in training. He said, when I go to my elders to ask how I'm going, the first thing they say to me is, what is your relationship with your family? And if they say, oh, well, not so good, they'll say, the words, I won't say them on this webinar, go back, address with your family, and then come back to us. And so it is. And I've always used that as a bit of a guideline. If I'm teaching as a spiritual teacher, and how can I live that in my life with my family? And if I can't, then it's not real. It's false.
Right.
Not that I don't talk a lot about my galactic self to them particularly, but I try to be who I am and present with them. That's the best thing you do to your family, is be present in your heart with them.
That's something for me that's definitely improving finally. Yeah. For the last few years, but yeah.
There is what is called the family heart, and you can always, whenever I've given a seminar or a women's group or relationship group and I evolve through something myself, I offer that as a blessing into my family heart. And often when my mother was alive, she would bring me, and in the conversation with my sisters, I would hear that they'd actually received that gift. And so they'll receive it in their way. And, they're mirroring things back to you too, because when we're born, we choose our parents, for instance, and they are showing us our relationship with the Divine Mother or Father principle. When a parent passes on, we're just left with our relationship with the Divine. And so they're mirroring back to us what we need to heal in our family, because often that also reflects our soul families as well as our physical families.
Yeah. Well, it has been such a beautiful pleasure, Kaliana, an honor to have you on.
You've made it so easy. Thank you, Zara.
Yeah, just a conversation. You have so much wisdom to share just in conversation. It's amazing. So yeah, we'll talk about maybe doing this again sometime.
That'd be lovely. Maybe Rama too. We could talk about relationships.
I've been thinking about having Rama on just on his own, to have a conversation about the School of Divine Masculine. When is that coming out? Is that in the fall?
It's coming in June.
Oh, it's coming in June, the next installment of the Divine Masculine School?
It'll be another school of, it's a small group he's wanting. So that everyone in the group gets individual attention.
Beautiful.
It's last year he had beautiful men from all over, some from New York, some from Africa, India, Geneva, Australia, Tasmania. And this year, and we're going to also have a retreat in the desert in August this year. It was initially just for the men from the school, but he's opened it up. And because I was co-facilitating on his school, holding the feminine with 3 other beautiful teachers, teaching the Yeshua codes. And so I'll be co-facilitating that retreat at Uluru.
Uluru. Yeah.
Uluru. Kalajuda, Uluru. Amazing.
I haven't been there yet. I didn't get to go, but yeah, it's on the bucket list.
It's solar plexus chakra of the world and the heart of Australia, and it's an amazing portal of Pleiadian energy.
Ooh, Pleiadians.
Yes.
I went to the Crystal Castle out there in Rosebank, and that was worth the trip to Australia. I just loved it there so much. I had a profound experience in the Crystal Cave. Really. Yeah.
That's not far. That's within driving distance of us.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a gateway, which we've just done a huge upgrade on, working amazing. Everyone putting a lot of physical hard work, hard yakka, as you'd say in Australia, and to actually upgrade the Elohim gateway. So that's an amazing angelic portal as well.
Yeah, super exciting. And Kaliana and Rama hosted a bunch of the Divine University mentors at their house for a week and a half, 2 weeks, while they were all doing 3 weeks. Oh my gosh. Well, they were doing this labor on the Crystal Gateway in Rosebank. So June for the Divine Masculine School. I didn't realize it was so soon. So we'll have to connect. I'll have to connect with Rama and get him on here and let him talk about all that magic for the men.
That'd be awesome. It's so needed, the sacred masculine.
So needed. Yes.
So
absolutely.
needed. And a lot of the men who did the last school are starting to realize their soul gifts and starting to teach and hold meditations, which is his aim, to ask the men to start teaching what they know and hold space, because men who are in their sacred masculine know it's the time of the feminine, and they protect our back and guard us as we open up and speak.
Yeah.
And so it's a beautiful time to work equally empowered male and female energies together.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we want to thank you for coming on today, and we will we'll make this available to the public and the Divine University and yourself, all the links, and we'll get on with Rama real soon.
Thank you so much, Elzara.
Thank you for joining. Bye,
and I hope
Kaliana.
all of you join all the WESAC events, because it would be an amazing gift.
Come to WESAC with us.
Come to WESAC.
Bye.
Bye.